So hey world, welcome to my channel and welcome to something new. I don't even know what to call it. I don't think I need a name for it. It's just like commentary with Bruno. Okay. So I had this idea because I love TV shows. I love TV shows, movies, all that. You could tell. I mean, look at my Funkos, look at my posters. I have more Funkos over there. So all that. And I watch Katie. I can't say her last name, but she's the YouTuber that watches The Walking Dead. So if you know, you know. And she recently interviewed one of the actors from the show. And they were talking like how they love shows, how they grew up watching, and how loving shows basically, you know, like that love made a career for them, like in a different way for both, but they started like in the same place, like being an actor because she loved shows, the actress, and then Katie commenting and doing content on YouTube and in interviews and all that stuff. And I was like, I shared the same love, and I was like, I relate to this, and so I thought, what can I do to express the things that I want to talk about. And I was like, commentary. And currently, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, is airing. It's only gonna have 6 episodes, so it's gonna be short. But I thought, because I'm watching this show and I watched The Walking Dead and Fear and all of the spin-offs, I was like, I can comment on the show. And I thought about reacting to it, but because of copyright, it's gonna be hard. And it would be just a quick video, it would be like, I don't know, like 10 minutes, 15 probably, because copyright would be really difficult. And because I film on my phone, I have a limit of time. I like half an hour. So if I were to film the whole episode, I couldn't, even if I wanted to. I mean, I could probably break it into parts, but it would be hard. So I was like, I can comment on the episode and I don't need to react to it. That way I can share my opinions and see if people share the same opinions, what people think in the comments. So if you're watching this and it's your first time on the channel, hi, welcome. I should have said this at the beginning, right? But anyway. So yeah, and if you want to talk about the show, if you want to share your opinions, leave it in the comments, and let's start. So I took some notes of things that I want to talk about. The first thing is that when the episode starts, it says 5 years after the bridge. So it's 5 years after Rick supposedly died. And when he's trying to escape, I was like, okay, he's trying to escape. Okay. And then he had the machete and he had the thing on his arm, and I was like, is they gonna try and cut the wire or whatever that thing was? And he cut his hand, and I'm like, what? That is fucking crazy. The way I was mad, because if he was bit and he had to cut his hand off, I would understand. But cutting his hand to escape, because then he was bleeding out, and I'm like, you're bleeding out, you're gonna die. And because this is a show, I'm like, okay, they're not gonna kill him, so what the fuck is gonna happen? And he ended up being arrested again. And I'm like, so he cut his hand off for nothing. That's why I'm like, if he was bit, I would understand. But I think they did that because it's Rick, right? It was the main character. Now he's the main character of this show too. So I think they had to like up the stakes, and that's why they cut his hand, because there wasn't really a reason for it. But what I am excited is for now he has that mechanic thingy, so maybe he has like more strength, like Aaron, or he can do like a little weapon or something like that. For the future. So maybe killing zombies with a hand and stuff might be cool. Next, the escapes. I do like that he didn't stop escaping even after he cut his hand off. Because, like he said in the show, it was like either I escape or I die. And I'm like, yeah. Like I understand that. Because if you think about it, for the other people, for Michonne, Judith, Daryl, Carol, he's gone. Supposedly he died. So if he can't get back to them, he's already kind of gone. So it's either he escapes and gets back to them, or he dies. And I understood that, but that was so sad though. That was really sad. But I love like the determination. It seemed impossible, and it kind of is impossible for him to get out, and he just kept trying. You know. Um, Pearl next. Pearl is the new character. The actress was the one who played Mazikeen on Lucifer. Was That was amazing. She was amazing in that role. It was really good. And now in this role, she just keeps that up. I love her accent. I think they did it because of like her culture, to to add more culture to her character into the show. So I really like that. And her performances, really good. Really good. And it's like, yeah, she's in the same boat as Rick. Like they both got taken out of their lives and put in the city, and they're both trying to escape. But she was more okay. Let's put it that way. She was more okay with the fact that she was trapped because she knew she couldn't get out. But Rick, he just had to get out. That's why he had that determination. Because Pearl also said that she had people that she loved, but she wasn't trying to escape. And I was like, that's weird. But different people think different things. So it was cool to see those, like, I don't want to say extremes, but those two sides, of a coin. You have two sides. It was cool to see those two sides. Then they both got recruited because of the other guy, which his name was Donald. I didn't even know his name was Donald because I don't think they said it in the episode. I think they treated him with his last name. I don't remember. But I had to search it on Google, and he said Donald. And I was like, Donald? Is that the name of the character or his name? But no, it was the name of the character, Donald. The black dude who is really hot. He was so fine. And when he started talking, that voice, ooh, that was really good. So he recruited them, and they were like infiltrated. So Rick was like, which that was one thing I thought it was really weird. Because the other guy, Garcia, I think it was his name, I don't know. The one that was talking with Rick on the bench, he gave Rick the idea of accepting to get into the CRM and infiltrating and eventually getting out. And I'm like, you didn't think of that before? They were already trying to recruit him, and he could have infiltrated that before. He didn't even have to cut his hand. He could have just infiltrated them and try to get out. But no, he's just gonna start doing that now. And I was like, what the fuck? He could have thought of that before. But anyway, and then Pearl also. But then Rick was infiltrated because he wanted to get back home. And then both him and Pearl were infiltrated because Donald wanted to change the things of the city. Which I didn't quite understand the way he wanted to do it. It was really weird. Like the A's and the B's, he wanted to take that out of the equation. He wanted to do something different. I didn't understand what they were trying to do with him. But I don't know. Then comes the last escape, which I really thought Rick was going to be able to escape. But, he didn't come back on The Walking Dead. So I was like, okay, maybe not. Maybe something else is going to happen. And so when he was trying to escape through the sewers and he was killing the zombies, just appears a little girl, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she just screams, and I'm like, oh, great. Now he's not going to be able to escape. Because he had the grenade in his hand, and he already took the pin. And so he was just holding it. So he had to release it. Otherwise, he would have died. And so he just threw it into the sewer. And I'm like, okay, now he's not going anywhere. And then the little girl, when Pearl showed up and helped them, the little girl said, "Oh, you killed my mom." And I'm like, what? Was she pretending to be a zombie? Or was she already dead? Because I didn't see anyone else alive, you know? But then when Pearl, which is my next topic, Pearl, like her monologue, when she told Rick the story about the little girl, that was so sad. And the way she told and the acting, top tier. Top tier. It was really good. And then she broke the glass at the end and I'm like I was like crying, and then she just breaks the glass and I'm like, this bitch is crazy. But it was really good. And I like that they told that story of the little girl. And yeah, I mean, it fucked up the escape, but at least she was safe, you know. But she's got to have some trauma on her. That's got to be hard. And she was like, because she had all the blood and everything from the zombies, because like Pearl said, she was hiding and then the zombies were trying to get to her and they were eating each other or like, you know, punching each other and touching each other, and the blood fell on her. And then when she came out, they didn't attack her because she had the blood. And now she was just like walking amongst them. That's so fucked up. Kind of like a whisper if you think about it. So, but not without the mask, but with the blood. She was just lost in the middle of them. That was really fucked up too. And then after that comes Rick's attempt, you know. He was with the glass. But because the episode started that way, I was like, I mean, and it is Rick. You knew he wasn't going to do it, but the episode started with that scene, and then we got all of that information, and then it came back to that scene. And now we're like, oh, so this is why he's doing this. Obviously, I'm glad he didn't, but I kind of knew he wasn't, you know, gonna himself. But it was so sad. It was. Mm-hmm. And because then after that, he made the decision to just be in the CRM and then burn all of Michonne's things and like the phones with the drawings. And I'm like, you could have still kept that as memories, but I guess those memories were hard and he couldn't get out, so he just thought he could burn it all, you know. But he still had it in his head, so, you know. Which brings me to the dreams he had about Michonne. I think they could have had a better way to do the dreams, because it was a little weird. It was just dialogue talking about nothing. She did look good in those outfits, but they were just talking about nothing. And then he wakes up and we're like, oh, it's a dream. But the actual like dream itself, I feel like they could have done something better with that. But yeah. Then he joins the CRM. More time has passed. He and Pearl are building that place. And they go to the helicopter, right? So we're moving on to the end of the episode. They go to the helicopter, and Rick was talking about his childhood, and I'm like, this is completely new. We never gotten a backstory on Rick. Which, if you think about it, is completely insane, because he was the main character of The Walking Dead for 9 seasons. We never got a backstory. Isn't that crazy? And it got to this, like, all of these years later, and we're getting it. And I was like, I was so happy. The way he told that story too, about his father and the farm, which is weird because he lived on a farm. So, and then you relate to Herschel's farm, and it's like, oh my God. And then they start getting shot at. And I'm like, Jesus, here we go. But I wasn't expecting nothing crazy to happen because it was already the end of the episode. And I'm like, okay. And Rick is the pilot, so I don't think they're going to crash it. because he can die. But anyway, and then Donald gets shot. But it's not just him getting shot, because I was like, because then at the end I kind of liked him because of all that story with Rick and all that time that's passed. I kind of liked him at the end, but then he got shot and it was just blood dripping in his mouth, and I'm like, okay, he's dead. He's dead because they're not gonna land, so he's probably dead. They're gonna crash. Not only that, but then it explodes. So what he had shot, I think it was here or like in his belly, like a little low. It explodes. So he literally just explodes all over the helicopter. And I was like, what? And then you could just see the look on Rick's face. That shit was fucked up. That shit was fucked up. And then they were crashing and I'm like, oh Jesus. But then I knew they were not going to kill Rick because they already killed one character, so they're not going to kill the other. And it is hard to worry about him physically, I would say physically, because we know they're not going to kill him. It's Rick. They're not going to kill him. So that's why I'm saying they cut his hand off to like give that sense of danger even to a main character, but still they're not going to kill him, And then they crashed. And then they were fighting, and I saw someone coming over and they were attacking. My first thought was like, Rick, take your mask off, because he put his mask on. And I'm like, no, take it off, take it off, take it off. Because if it's Michonne, she needs to see it's you. She needs to see your face. Because if she comes to kill, or if anyone comes to kill, they're just going to kill him and they're not going to care. They're just going to kill. And I was like, take the helmet off so she can see you. And then, long and behold, it is Michonne, and she takes his helmet off because she was looking for him. So she knew he was at the CRM. She knew. Because you could see in the background that she was like killing the other guy, and she took his helmet off. And then when she comes to Rick, he didn't know it was her, but she was looking for him. So that's why she took his helmet. Because I was like, oh, okay. Because she didn't take just his helmet, she took everyone's before killing them, because she was looking for him. What I don't get is why she bombed the helicopter. And like, imagine Rick was there and she knew like, okay, Rick might be in the helicopter. She's just gonna bomb it in hopes that he'll survive, because he could have died. I mean, they're not gonna kill him, but imagine you're Michonne and you think Rick is in that helicopter. You think you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna shoot it out the sky. No, maybe because she thought he was a prisoner and he could possibly. I mean, okay, it is Rick. Even in the show, he is Rick, so he could have survived. So I also get that. But yeah, then she just takes his helmet off and they reunite, and I'm like, they're gonna end it here. And they didn't say anything. They didn't even say anything to each other, and I was like, but at least they reunited in the first episode, because imagine having to wait to the end. They did a good job having them reunite now, because I'm guessing the second episode is gonna be Michonne's story until now. And maybe at the end of the episode, we'll get some dialogue between them. And then episode 3 is probably going to be the main episode for them both. So, yeah. But I really, really enjoyed it. It was a really good episode. A really good beginning and continuation. And, there's that thing with new characters. And I liked Donald. It's a shame that he died, because he was trying to change the CRM, even though I didn't quite understand, But yeah. Now I'm just excited for episode 2. I will be doing a video for episode 2, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, and we'll just gotta see. We'll see where we go from here, But it's really good. It's really good. I'm really happy. The spin-offs have all been good. Daryl's, Maggie's. I really wish they could all come together, but I'm not seeing them like do another show with all of them together. Especially because this one is a miniseries, and Daryl's and Maggie's is gonna have a second season. So I don't know how that would work out, but yeah. But anyway, I really liked it. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. If you have, I would say if you have any other shows, but in the moment I'm not. I'm not like watching any other shows. I'm watching Virgin River, so if you want me to talk about that, I could talk about that. But in the past, I did watch a lot of shows like Supergirl, Flash, Titans, like all of the DC and Marvel shows I've watched. So if y'all want me to talk about one of those shows, or just say a show in the comments, and I'll tell you if I watched it or not, and I can talk about it. You know. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, this new type of content, I'm still gonna do it even if I don't get a lot of views or likes, because I just want to get my opinion out there, you know. And I really love to talk about this stuff, so I'm still gonna do it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, consider subscribing if you want more content, because I do have reactions and covers. I also sing, so I do covers, reactions. You can recommend any video for me to react to. I think I already said consider subscribing, you know. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.